Hello, this is Adam Dewhirst, and this is the 8th and final tutorial in our head modelling series. I'm going to, if you recall in the last lesson we talked about modelling the hair, we left at a point where we had the hair, but we need to spend some time extruding points and shaping it. So I'm just going to open up a scene that I've spent about 40 to 50 minutes on. Just shaping the hair a little bit, so I'll open that up. And now we have, if I hit smooth this model, what we have is a much more hair-like shape resembling our model. There's a couple of bumpy bits in there, but basically that is done, and at various points I've cut into it and I've extruded out, but our shape we had before has been our rough guide for this, and it's working pretty well, I think. So there we go. Now, the last few things I'm going to do, I'm going to model a very quick shirt to sit this guy, and I'm not going to model these collars, but I will give him a t-shirt. So we're going to take this model and we're going to duplicate it. Edit, duplicate, move that over a little, and we'll rename this one shirt. And I'm going to take, let's just have a quick look in the front view, see where a shirt would be roughly here. So I'm going to, first thing I'm going to do is add another little edge just here, and then I'm going to delete every face above that. Which I'll tell you what I'll do. Instead, what we'll do is we'll just select these faces. That might be easier. And we'll just do extract. No, hang on, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's select those faces. We're going to basically do exactly the same method we did with the building the hair. So, right, we've selected all of these faces. Right, we are going to go to extrude, not extract, similar sounding, and pull that out, and then go select, grow, select region, and then we're going to go to extract. Now the reason we're doing this is that if I'd taken the model, say for example I'd taken this and deleted the other stuff, and I hit extrude now, what happens is it extrudes it out, and that's fine, but we also get all the inside faces. Now if you have extruded it and then separated your model, we get none of the inside faces, which I don't really want because there's no reason why I'd need to model the inside of this t-shirt. So I'm going to select this basic shape now, and I'm going to turn snap to grid on and snap this back to our model. Hit 3 to have a look at it in smooth. Now that's a basic top shape. If we wanted to add some kind of collar, we could insert a loop here, perhaps 2 more times, and then we could take this inner one and just scale that in. And what that should do is give us a hint of collar. I think really that's all this guy needs. So he's now sitting in what would be a t-shirt, and if we were modelling the rest of it we could model everything else, but I think that's all this needs. So let's freeze the transforms on that. Now the final stage to any model is cleaning the scene up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to, you'll see down here on the bottom left hand side there's a couple of different layouts. This is the one we're in now. If we hit the second one down we get split view, and the next one down is split between the perspective and the outliner. Actually close the outliner first, there we go. What I want to do is, all I want here is a group node with my character in it and everything nicely neatly named. So let's get rid of our excessive cameras. We know our reference cameras, we no longer need them. Let us take all the geometry here and go edit, delete all by type history, and modify freeze transforms on all of them, and also center pivots on everything. Now we've got a spare empty node there, we can delete that, and we'll start naming stuff. So polysurface 12, that is actually hair geo. And the shirt's in its own group node again. We can remove that from there just by hitting the middle mouse and dragging. And we're going to call that shirt geo. And once again we're going to freeze it. Because we removed that from the group, it changed the transform, so we'll delete the history on that as well. Delete that node. And body, we'll just rename that skin, I think. Skin geo. We've got left eyebrow. Again, I'm putting geo at the end so I can identify it. If it's a group, I'd put GRP at the end. If it was a layer, we put, as you can see over here, LYR. Just identifying little components makes things easier. So for this, I'm going to put frame. This is the glasses frame. Underscore geo. And again, we're going to do, that's the left side, so L glass underscore geo. And the other one R underscore. Trying to keep it consistent. Geo, that's fine, so that's the glasses group there. And everything else is going to be, now this is a NURBS shape, so I'm actually going to put NURBS for this one, although technically it's geometry, but I want to keep it so I can identify it. So NURB maybe, same here. I might replace this with polygons later, but for now we'll leave it like this. And let's take all of this, group that together under one node, Control G, and we're going to call that character underscore group. So under here we'll have all our different sections, and we could group the eyes together, call that eyes group. You know, the more you organise this, the more helpful it'll be later. That should be everything there done. Now we can select the objects and just double check here, everything's 0, no history. You could go through one by one and check them all, but I'm pretty sure they're all going to be fine. And as we can see, the character group is in the middle. What I might do is I might just put my character actually in a more suitable position, maybe around there, and hit insert and just re-snap that point back to the middle of the world. And modify freeze transforms. Okay, great. Now I don't need my layers either. There's two ways you can do that. I can either go here and do delete layer, which does get rid of it, or one of the final things I'll do is go to file and run optimize scene size, and if I run that, it will in fact, okay, normally it should remove the layer, evidently it hasn't. Sometimes Maya doesn't do what I want it to do. Let's just delete that layer manually then. Oh, it doesn't want to do anything. There we go. Okay, now the other thing is I noticed that earlier looking at designs, I think the glasses sat a little lower, so I'm going to make a little tweak. Now every time you group it centers stuff in the middle of the world. Now because we moved the model down, this has been adjusted, but I actually like the group node for this to be in the middle of the glasses, so I'm going to put modify center pivot. If you did want it to rest anywhere particular, we could of course put it maybe on the bridge of the nose by hitting snap to point, maybe moving this somewhere in line with that point. That might be more sensible. I'm actually just going to drop this down just a little because I think it looked, we had a little test of this earlier looking at our side unit, just looked a little better. That's fine. Okay, so aside from the beard, which I think, as I said earlier, I'm thinking of doing as a texture, everything else there should be done. Now we've named everything, it's nice and neat. One of the other things we're going to do is we're going to check the direction of the normals. Now you can go to display polygons and face normals. We'll turn that on. Okay, but it's a little confusing, so let's undo that. Let's go just display polygons, face normals again to turn it off. There it goes. And we're going to actually go to Window, General Editors, Attribution, Spreadsheets, and go along to the Render tab, and just click the actual top description, so opposite. I'm going to hit 0 to turn everything off, and on double side I'm going to do the same, hit 0 to turn everything off. Now, anything that's facing the wrong way will look like it's inside out, so we can straight away see, it's normally stuff that you've duplicated over, we can straight away see that the eyebrows, this left one is, so we're going to go normals and reverse. Same with the glasses, they're clearly backwards. Now is this piece, yes, that looks backwards too, and that one looks fine. And it's possible, yeah, it looks like the eyeball is too. Oh. Oh no, those are fine. Those are fine. Maybe not. That one does need reversing. We're getting an error. Current selection doesn't match required selection type. Well, that is a little annoying. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a quick fix here. We're just going to open this up. Classes, display, hide selection. And I'm just going to fix this manually. By taking an existing one and edit, duplicate. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure what that error is, and I don't have the time to sit here and figure that one out, so I'm just going to position it where I think it should go. Display, show last hidden, there we go, glasses are back. Anything else? Everything else looks okay. So we're good. We can select the whole thing, delete all by type history. Remember, we've moved the glasses as well, so I'm also going to go modify freeze transforms. So that is the normals checked. Okay, we're going to have a quick look at our hypershade. Do we have any spare shaders? No, we've got the glasses one which we applied, but that blend was deleted when we ran optimize scene. And that should pretty much be everything. Let's turn that off. And last thing we're going to check as well is we're going to select the whole model, and we're going to run a cleanup. So mesh cleanup. This is a very useful option that lets you just check the components for your model. So I'm going to check. We can check them all at once, but it's sometimes a bit confusing. So let's maybe just untick some of these settings. And you've got two options. Cleanup cleans up automatically and doesn't consult you when it does it. So it may do something that you don't want it to do, and you don't realise because it doesn't actually tell you what it has done. And select will just select the geometry that is wrong. So let's run a select. We're going to look for 5 setted faces. None? Great. We'll turn that one off. We'll look for laminar faces now. Faces that show all their edges. Again, none. We're good there. Non-manifold. Oh, okay, so we have a couple here. Now, non-manifold could be anything, but it's normally things that have been accidentally joined or merged or something like that. Now, it looks to me like, yeah, at some point when I've merged some shapes here, I've accidentally merged the top and the bottom of the mouth together. Now, thankfully, this is on the face, which is symmetrical shape. So let's first of all go display, hide, unselected objects. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a new edge in here where those faces have joined. And I'm going to have to do this on all different sections that have been merged. So we'll delete those edges. Now it looks like it also applies to some of these. I'm going to have to do some of this sort of, I suppose you could say, in the dark. I mean, I can't see quite all the areas that it's affected, so I'm going to just sort of forge ahead. I'm going to put another edge in there too. Edit mesh, delete edge. Now it looks like it's also joined another section there. Got to be quite careful here because I don't want to make too much of a mess. Now I want this edge to continue up there and that to cut through, so let's ooh, this is going to be tricky. See if I can do this way. Okay, has that fixed it? I think we might have just gotten away with that. Oh, a little confusing there, so let's see if we can take one of the vertices that was affected. Yeah, and it looks like that has totally unmerged it from where it was before. We can run, now you can see the other side is still affected, so let's run non-manifold geometry again. Now it looks like one piece there is still kind of affected. So, what can we do? Can we see if we can merge that back together? Does that help? No, it's still running it. Sometimes it does help if you can potentially delete faces. We'll just sort of select that loop, fill hole, do the same on the other side. Looks fixed to me. It's still running an error. now I select the two edges, I'm going to redraw this edge. Okay. Let's open up our cleanup again. Just check one last time. Okay, still doing it. I know we fixed it, but we'll come back to this in just a second. Let's see where else it was affected first. Oh, excuse the UVs for 1 second. Clean up, and we'll hit clean up again. Now there was one other part that I recall seeing, maybe by the, yeah, there it is by the eye. Okay, so let's have a quick look to see what this is. Okay, now this is one that's slightly trickier to identify, I think. It looks like we've got an edge that's come back here from the front, perhaps. Yes, and merged. Now that is quite a complex one to fix. Ideally what we want to do is just separate these verts, but often it doesn't like doing that. Let's see what happens if we just let it fix itself. We'll go to cleanup. We're going to go clean up matching polygons under non-manifold geometry. Apply. What has it done? Okay, it's separated out those polygons. Now what it's probably done, yes, what I thought it would do, is it's actually separated those vertices from every single edge. So if we come in now, every single one will be completely separate. And that one obviously is one of the ones on the front. So we're basically just going to have to move all these out, and we'll join them back together, but we're going to have to make sure that the one that was from the other side is not connected. So maybe come into a different viewport. This is going to be a little tricky, sometimes it can get confusing. Okay. So it looks to me like, just hit for these four are all the ones that should be connected to each other, and oh, let's make sure we get this correct. Edit mesh merge, we're going to put this threshold a bit higher. We're going to merge those four. And well, this has created quite a mess, hasn't it? Now we want to connect up those other edges. Again, can be, as I say, a little confusing at times. Let's merge those together. Might move them out. I mean, it's going to affect our design a little, but shouldn't be too bad. Now looks like there's a couple more that are also not merged, so we're just going to merge some of these together. I think that may have got it. I hope. Now let's run mesh and cleanup again. Okay, now it's still selecting some of these. Looks like there's a couple of edges there I've missed. Yeah, just there. Now, when we can zoom in, we can see it's cutting off a lot of the model. That's because our clipping plane is set a little low. Right, this last one is proving to be just a little difficult. We've merged that, but it doesn't seem to want to. Right, now we're not getting an error anymore, but I think that's because it's separated these points. Now, if you're coming into your model and it's disappearing when you get nearer, the solution to that is to go into your perspective camera and change the near kit plane, maybe add another 0, and then you should be able to zoom in a lot closer. So again, I'm just going to take these points, merge them, merge that one, merge that one. Looks like we've got a little bit of error there. Might be a normal issue, so let's hit normal and conform. Slightly annoying. Okay, let's have a double click to see. Let's have a double check down here to see what it did with the mouth. Did it clean it up? Okay. Now it's separated that side. Well, that doesn't matter because I'm now going to go to the front view and delete half this head. Okay, and let's go back to mesh and clean up. Select. Still selecting that eye, unfortunately. What I'm going to do is see if we can actually figure out what's wrong there in another section and come back. So we'll scroll down, we'll untick non-manifold, we'll do edges with 0 length. Clean up, nope, nothing there. And let's turn that off. Faces with 0 geometry area, nothing there. Now the last one, faces with 0 map area, is to do with UV mapping, which we haven't got onto yet, so I'm not going to do that one. Let's go back, non-manifold geometry. This is the last of our problems, everything else has been fixed. So let's try the good old fashioned technique I tried earlier, deleting faces and rebuilding them. Now, here we go, I can see a problem here. Looks like we've got either unjoined edges or, yeah, it looks like unjoined edges, so let's, I think it's, the fix tool is sort of basically just unconnected a bunch of faces, so let's just select all those, go to edit mesh, merge, switch that up to 0. Oh, try again. 0.00, leave it 0.1. Merge. Now that does look better. Yep, looks a lot better. Okay, so let's only merge the ones that are definitely sitting on top of each other. So let's go to mesh and clean up. Just check that one more time. And it's not there anymore. Great, so we fixed it. So we'll delete all the history. Take the model, hit insert to snap the pivot. We're going to snap it to the center of the grid. And we're going to go duplicate special again, as always. Select the other side, mesh, combine. And again, now this is where we made that error last time. So I'm going to try and just select the middle ones. Maybe just go sit inside the mouth to see if it actually does anything wrong, which it shouldn't do. And again, merge. Now if you are accidentally merging points, it's because your threshold's too high. We set it pretty low now, so it should work just fine. I'll hit 3 and zoom out, just check everything has joined up together. Probably worth running just another cleanup, just to double check that. Yep, it looks fine. And as I said, you can actually run all this stuff together if you want, but it's going to be slightly harder to identify things. Okay, great, so that's cleaned. So lastly, display, show, last hidden. There's everything else. Hit 3. There's our model. We'll delete all the history. This new surface is created because we separated our model and merged it back, so we're going to rename that skin _ geo. And just hit the middle mouse, hold on the middle mouse and drag it into the group. And that should be everything nice and clean. Nothing's popping out, so just delete the history again and optimize the scene. And that's basically it. There's our finished character. All modelled and ready to go. Now, at some point I'm hoping to maybe take this into the UV layout tool and just lay this out, and then maybe we might do another series of tutorials on texturing and UV layouts. So if you are interested in that, please leave me some feedback and we can follow this up. So thank you very much. This is Dewhirst and this is our finished character.